So, mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, let's start the third attempt to stream Ultimate Admiral Age of Sails. Since I had some technical issues, I don't waste too much time talking about stuff and just jump right in. I had some issues which campaign to play first in Ultimate Admiral. Normally, in computer games I always tend to play the big imperialist powers. So normally I should have chosen the British campaign, but since I don't own any proper British uniform, I took my old pirate stuff and dressed up to celebrate this beginning of my stream, and now I play the American campaign, since the first American naval actions were not so much actions by a grown and well-built navy, but by kind of privateers and stuff. So I think this suit fits me well to give you the hopeful young American captain in the War of Independence. And now let's just jump right in.
Blood, sweat and tears are the price of freedom. I learned this lesson while still a boy. In Scotland, my family rebelled against the English tyrants. My father was killed in the fighting.
Oh damn, I need a Scottish accent. So this is, I have to admit, I played the first mission of this campaign once. I played no further missions. I just wanted to get a first impression, so I know what's happening now. So this is a kind of background story for the captain I play in this campaign, and now I can make story choices. And as you can see here, there pops up a window. Let's make this a little bit bigger for you. There pops up a window, and this gives some ability. So depending on what I choose here, so my father was shot and now I have to choose. I disguise myself as a cabin boy and sneak aboard a ship. I sneaked through the heavily guarded town and boarded a ship as a stowaway. I ran for it and the soldiers nearly caught me. I escaped by leaping onto a ship outbound on the evening tide. The first option, the mission reward is increased by 5%, which is quite nice, since all wars are won by the money, I think. If I choose this one, I have luck, which is 10% success chance. However, this is measured in the game. And if I choose this option, wounded officers are more likely to survive. So all the luck, I can't really tell how the luck will play out in the campaign. So I think I choose between mission reward and more recovery survival chance for my officers. But I'm also kind of a role player, so I have to consider, what would I do? I disguised myself as a cabin boy and sneaked aboard a ship. I ran for it and the soldiers nearly caught me. I escaped by leaping onto a ship outbound on the evening tide. I think I would choose this one in my personal life. So
I disguised myself as a cabin boy and sneaked aboard the ship. Now the sea is my home. Here I have found freedom, adventure, and recognition of my skills. I became captain at just 21 years of age. I am proud of my ship, but some of the crew resented my promotion. A mutineer attacked me over a matter of pay. I was forced to defend myself with my sword. Unfortunately, he was from a wealthy family. and they were determined to see me ruined. Again I ran, once more fleeing the tyranny of unjust men. To a land of opportunity, to a country where a man can be free. America.
Well, I like this kind of homage on the Patriot movie, I think. I think this house over there is just inspired by the house of the family in the Patriot. But of course the games always choose their inspiration. So what do I do now? I work as a carpenter and learned how to craft a ship's hull. I become a merchant and formed trading partnerships across the New World. I purchased a farm and prospered. This gives reputation per battle. This gives better prices. And this gives less repair costs. Since the Americans built quite good ships, maybe it's possible that a Scottish immigrant learns how to build ships there. I don't think that the Scottish had huge shipyards, stockyards, but in the colonies maybe I could have learned this. So I take this and reduce my repair costs.
I worked as a carpenter and learned how to craft a ship's hull. England, the old tyrant, refuses to release her grasp on this land.
Still
the
the
British
Patriot
control the
reference.
major ports and cities, but the people
The
yearn to be
Tellington
free.
style
The time for me to join the rebellion and fight the tyrant has come. The Continental Navy will need captains who can attack England upon the seas. This time, I will not run.
Nice boy.
Give me liberty, or give me death. With my political connections, I've secured a command where my experience will be useful.
Choose how your story continues. My strength is the ability to plan and organize brilliantly. Making grand speeches, I often inspire those around me. My primary concern is the health and welfare of my crew. While this for me is also a clear roleplay thing, I'm not a big planner and well, I'm also no healer, so what I really can do, I think, is making grand speeches, and this reduces hiring cost for veterans. What would I get for the other two sides? Plus 5% crew training speed and casual replenishment. No, I take grand speeches.
Making grand
that's
speeches,
exactly mine.
I often inspire those around me. The British already control most of the major ports in the region. But now is the time to change the course of the war. The situation at sea is as follows.
Now, this is basically the difficulty level of the game. Easy, medium, and hard. So hard, the enemy strength is increased by 20%. The rewards reduced by 25. There are no buffs or debuffs, and there it's quite the opposite, nearly. So, historically seen, of course, the Royal Navy would have been much better and much stronger, so normally I should take this one to have a historical approach on the situation, but first of all, I did not play the game before, and I know that at least the Ultimate General Civil War game was quite hard, even on medium. And I'm not a big fan of this buff and debuff system. So in my opinion, a ship is a ship with its cannon, with its possibilities, its speed. And I do not like if strength is just increased or decreased by a buff. So let's take the sea difficulty level medium.
Royal Navy's support of their expeditionary forces is inevitable. Our spies' report about the British expeditionary forces suggest
Britain cannot devote her full resources towards subduing the colonial rebellion. Significant British expeditionary forces are expected, and Great Britain will utilize all available resources towards subduing the colonial rebellion. So I think in this case it's clear. I take also the medium because since making it too easy would be bullshit, because the British army was really good in these days, very disciplined, very experienced, very battle-hardened. But since Great Britain has a big empire to rule, even in those days, I do not think that they will utilize all available resources. And so I choose the medium difficulty.
Significant
for the
British expeditionary forces are expected. Victory, glory, and a great future lay ahead.
Now I can choose my commander, and this is quite clear for me, since my real name is also Paul. I take John Paul Jones, the big hero of the Revolutionary War at sea. So, we are proceeding into the campaign. It's been quite a while now since I played the tutorial, so I hope I remember all the stuff, but it's a quite simple way of moving around. And as a good American that I am in this game, I start my revolution with a tea party. So let's just have a short break for prepare the tea. That much time must be. So there are some tutorials now, which is quite nice, but that's not what I wanna do. So let's jump right in. Sailing for 2 weeks, we have reached the shores of home. Our voyage was quiet and calm. Our French friends even provided us with an escort by sailing under a false flag. Cool. Good lord, look at those ships. It looks like half the British fleet. It looks like half the British fleet to our men. We cannot hope to win a fight. Well, that's not half the British fleet, that's for sure. But, okay. Now, what is there? We cannot win a fight, so we must turn and outrun them. There's a small landing to the south we can use to supply our forces. We must deal with the British patrol to reach our new objective. Okay. So what do we have here? We have 2 vessels, the Vengeance and this one. So, okay. And the fighting still begins. So, this is a bloody British ship. And we have to fight it. Okay, give them hell, boys. Shoot them. Good, very good. Meanwhile, okay, there is coming the next ship. There are other ships. What are they doing? And here, this is what I know from my first playthrough of this mission. This is the only one I've played so far. This is the zone where I have to bring my supply ship, the Earlston. So now let's concentrate directly on the fighting. Let's reduce speed since we outrun the enemy at the moment. turn in. I have 18 guns, 77 crew. The enemy has no information available, but they are losing their first man. That's good, that's good. You need to speed up with all haste. So let's continue firing on them. We have advantage. Advantage is wind now. The wind is coming from the east, which is at the moment good for us, but now we are losing the wind advantage. So now we are leeward of the enemy, which, and he's shooting at my merchant. So let's turn around. Maybe, just maybe, we can draw the enemy ship away from our merchant. So they're turning into, and the second vessel is also coming, but I think this first shots go for us. Okay, there are there's 47 men on the HMS Alderney, which is quite a few less than I have. And their hull is pierced. It's the red lines here. The armor is pierced are the reds. The hull is pierced is the yellow or orange line. And let's give them another salvo. Yeah. Okay, my ship is now free from the bloody merchant, the bloody British ship, but which I really don't like. I already have lost 2 guns, so let's, and they are obviously destroyed on this side since the red dots indicating. So let's turn around once again to not completely lose contact with my transport. We give them a few rounds more. At least I have only 5 deaths. That's so far, which is, well, every dead sailor is one too much, of course, but my losses are okay so far. So let's reduce speed again to get in range with this guy, and let's fire at them too. Yeah, nice. So I think they are, did they already surrender? No, they are still maneuvering, but they are a little bit behind now. So let's concentrate on the second vessel, on the HMS Oakwood. But for the moment it's perfect. I have both ships in range. That one isn't firing at me, so I can concentrate on... I have lost a cannon obviously on each side, so let's give them hell. Oh yeah. So, and what is this one doing? It's coming back, and what is my transport doing? It's so damn slow. It's on full sail, which you can see here. The wind is perfect to go there, but it seems it's just a very slow ship. So the HMS Alderney is coming back. The HMS Oakwood is out of range. Why? Let's change course a bit. I learned in the tutorial that this has something to do with it. Let's reduce speed also. Ah, no, that's looking good. That's looking good. Gadwin, what are you talking about, Andy Riemann? Those are sailing ships, no rowing boats. You as captain of the Schleusel should know it. So now it's... I do not like how the things develop here. But as long as I shoot on both of them. That's fine. And my transport ship gets time to escape. So, but now let's concentrate on the second one, the Oakwood, since the Alderney has already lost quite... So the Alderney is laying behind for the moment. They are quite damaged, but the Oakwood is in a much better position to intercept my transport ship. Now I have to give them all my love.
Fire broadside!
Yeah, take it. So, the Alderney is coming below my stern, which is not that good. Let's try to maneuver a little bit to get in a better position when they shoot their broadside. Damn it. They outmaneuvered me here. Bloody British. Damn. So I need to keep up with my transport. The mast is hit, but not enough. But they are so damaged. They must be. So let's speed up a little bit. Come on, lads. Let's leave the Alderney behind. And perhaps we can shoot the Oakwood in the stern as the Alderney did with us. That would be perfect. Yeah, it might work. Not perfectly, but they are getting their broadside. That's good. And they are... The distance between them and my transport ship is getting bigger. So that's the moment for me to buy some time for my merchant. Let's give the Oakwood another broadside. This bloody Alderney is still firing. And the Oakwood is still intact, quite intact. Come on, lads. So let's keep them in firing range a little bit longer. Give them another broadside. Come on. So let's bring the ship around. Eleven deaths now on my vengeance. The Alderney is heading towards my transport, which is funny. But now they're losing speed some, seemingly. And I hope that I soon be able to shoot them with some more broadsides to maybe get the Alderney out of the fight. And meanwhile, my Erston is heading to the safe zone. That's good. So let's keep the course. Forget about the Oakwood for the moment. Let's concentrate our fire on the Alderney, give him... Let's reduce speed even, not to outrun them now. So we want to keep our transport ship safe and not win the race on our own. Come on, give him another broadside. I could also change to grape shot or chain shot, but I tried it in the tutorial sometimes, and the chain shot, in my opinion, is not that effective. It costs a lot of time before you shoot down an enemy mast or bigger parts of the rigging or the sails. And during this time, the enemy obviously shoots you with his round shots and destroys your hull and your cannon, which is not good. The grape shots are nice if the enemy hull is largely damaged. Let's increase speed a bit. But yeah, but it's nice to prepare for a boarding action or something like this to reduce the enemy numbers. But that's not my plan now. Maybe the Alderney, boarding the Alderney could be an amazing option in this battle, but since the Oakswood is still very strong with lots of sailors, the same number than I have, nearly, and I think all cannons intact, that's too dangerous to go for boarding action now. Let's just damage the Alderney further. Maybe we can sink her or make her surrender, since their armor, the red lines, is completely down now. And then we have to escape the Oakwood, which is my bigger concern now, since my hull is quite damaged now too. Let's turn around a little bit to get some good shots at the Alderney. Now the Alderney is speeding up. Oakwood is firing at me, but of no distance. Come on. Yeah, give them the broadside. That's good. Damage them some more. And now let's head northward to follow my transport ship. Let's increase speed as much as possible. The sails are set. Let's turn around. Give them another broadside when we come around. Cannons are fully loaded. Come on. Fire. Yeah. It's unbelievable how many pounding the Alderney can survive. Their armor is completely down, but they are still in good morale, I think. So they have here 2 stars. So this is a quite elite ship. In Ultimate General Civil War, there's 3 stars indicated the best units. So let's. So the transport has reached a safe zone. So let's just give one more broadside to the Oakwood, and then we head straight north to follow up the transport. So now What's going on, lads? Fire! So now der Aston is retreated. You can finish the mission or continue your fight. Let's escape her. Full speed. All sails set. I do not want to risk losing too many men or maybe even my ship by falling down the oak wood. It would have just be interesting to capture the Alderney maybe by a boarding action, but not this time. You British tyrants. Let's head further north. Whew. Some time to rest. And some tea time. Let's enjoy it as long as the supplies get to the colonies. Who knows if the British increase their blockades? Maybe we won't have such a good tea for a longer time now. Ah, great. Great, great, great. And now we reached safety, and I think we can assume that this was a win for us. "13 losses on my crew, 2 cannon lost. Quite at the beginning of the engagement. Conditions of the mast is quite good, I think. Hull quite okay too. Okay, let's finish this one. Okay. We won our first battle against the British. We were outgunned. The both British ship had clearly more men than my single brig, since the merchant or transport did not participate in the game. They had slightly bigger losses. I fulfilled our goals. Units. Okay, what's that? Officers. No one wounded, it seems. Yeah. And what about the goods? Battle goods report. We rescued 6 sea service, 38 musket and bayonet. Okay, nice. Whew, that went quite well. Fighting off 2 British ships, smaller ships than mine, of course, but a timely delivery. We were able to deliver the required weapon to resupply our army in Boston. General Washington was pleased with the operation. For our weapons and pay, we will form the first Continental Navy Marine Regiment by recruiting, arming and training volunteers very quickly. The battle is defensive in nature and can be good experience for them. Okay. Whew. Well, this is the, whatever you call it, a kind of strategy menu between the battles, and this is also the point to which I played it so far. So everything that comes from now on will be completely new to me. It's similar to the menu of Ultimate General Civil War. Between the fightings you have this this menu where you can reorganize your troops, rearm them, fill up the casualties, commission new officers and stuff like this.